Hey everybody, on today's episode I'll be talking about collagen protein and what I recommend and what I use. That being said, for any diagnosis or any sort of prescribed supplement or intervention to improve joint pain or whatever else it may be, please go and see your doctor or a dietitian. I'm simply here just to provide some educational information regarding what collagen protein is and some options for it.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
In my previous podcast with Karen, we briefly talked about collagen protein, and so since then, I've gotten some questions and things sent my way of kind of what is it, what should I use it for, and people trying to decide if it's right for them. So today I'll kind of break it down a little bit, explain the common uses for it, and hopefully help you decide if it's right for you. So collagen protein, it kind of has two key purposes. The first being improvements in connective tissue and cartilage. So cartilage and tendons specifically is what most of the research has been done on. And secondly, it has been researched a lot in wound healing and skin property improvements. So we'll start with the cartilage and connective tissues. One thing that it has been studied in a lot and has shown a ton of positive benefits for are patients with osteoarthritis. It's been shown to have an anabolic effect on the cartilage itself, which is kind of one of the key components that is degrading with osteoarthritis. So there's a lot of research on that. It's been proven very well that it's very beneficial for people who have osteoarthritis. In addition, it has also been shown to be helpful in muscle tissue. So there was a study done in older women where they compared a whey protein to a collagen protein to see which would help preserve muscle mass better, because part of aging is you lose some of your muscle mass. Again, that depends a lot on genetics and what you do and everything else, but eventually, as a part of aging, you're going to lose some of your muscle mass. So looking for ways to preserve that is really important to help, keep your quality of life high, keep your functionality high, etc. So in this study, it showed that collagen protein was significantly more effective in maintaining that muscle mass in older women in comparison to a whey protein. So that's one of the reasons why people will switch from a whey to a collagen protein, especially as they start getting older. That being said, for myself, I'm not at that point where I have to worry about that. I don't have osteoarthritis, but I still use a collagen protein because of this. There was a study done with around 100 varsity athletes where they used a collagen protein as a way of helping reduce joint pain caused by lots of exercise, high intensity exercise, etc. So that is where it comes in for me and for young people that I know, is kind of that purpose, is that it's not how hard you train, it's how hard you recover. So I use it as a good way to recover, keep my joints healthy, because it's also been shown as a good way to help avoid some of that degeneration of joint tissue. So for me, that's a huge win-win. It helps keep me training hard now and keep me feeling good, not getting stiff joints or achy joints after training. And also, it's going to help keep me functioning and a high quality of life as I get older. And for me, that's the two key things I always look for in supplements is, how's it going to benefit me now? And also, how is it going to benefit me later? Because there's lots of stuff you could do now that aren't necessarily going to be beneficial long term. So what I like to look for are the things that are going to be beneficial now and later. And secondly, the improved wound healing and skin quality. So there's been lots of studies done on this, but one specifically that I found really interesting was that it helped people with pressure ulcers heal faster compared to those that weren't taking collagen protein. So that's really cool, because ulcers can be such a tricky thing to deal with, especially pressure ulcers. So I found that really fascinating, and there's lots of research done on its improvements with healing wounds and tissue damage. In addition, because it's a collagen, which elastin and things of the sorts are huge aspects of your skin health, it's been shown to be beneficial for skin quality and maintaining good skin quality as you get older as well. A few things to keep in mind, however. Collagen protein should be supplemental, as in it shouldn't replace doing things that are going to be good for your tissue health and quality in an everyday life kind of aspect. So it should be something that you put in addition to an already partially or as much as you can optimized lifestyle that's going to be healthy for your joints, healthy for your tissue, etc. So for instance, one thing, growth hormone, I'm talking naturally produced growth hormone, not exogenous growth hormone. That's going to throw things all out of balance, but naturally produced growth hormone has been shown to stimulate collagen synthesis in tendon and in muscle. So things like resistive exercise, so weight training, proper sleep, proper nutrition, all of these things are going to help with that. And then they also help with, good joint health in a lot of other ways. There is many different types of diet and recovery methods and lifestyle habits that help reduce inflammation, which will be beneficial for your joints. That's a lot of the times, for instance, with Lyme's disease, what happens a lot of the times is when the joints get really painful and really swollen, it's caused by inflammation. So making dietary changes and, things like cryotherapy help reduce that inflammation and in turn help with that joint pain. When I did my practicum, which was with hip and knee surgery patients, there was one lady that was mentioning that she goes to cryotherapy because of her arthritis, and it's one of the few things that really helps her as well. And, there's been lots of other, I think on Joe Rogan, they talk about that with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, about how beneficial that can be for joint pain and reducing inflammation, etc. So turn to them, and they have a ton of information, especially Dr. Rhonda Patrick. She's looked a lot into cold and heat therapy as well. I digress. But what I'm just trying to get across is that there is a lot of ways in benefiting and improving your joints that aren't necessarily just through collagen supplements, but again, it is beneficial in adding onto an already structured and well-developed plan in maintaining your joint health. So that being said, what do I use? I use Organica Collagen Protein. The reason I like them is it's a Canadian company. I try to get everything Canadian as I can. It's just nice to know kind of where it comes from and the regulations that they're following. It's produced from grass-fed cattle. They don't add any sweeteners. There's no just random ingredients thrown in, so it's unsweetened, unflavored, which I like just because I want to add it into other things. So they're my go-to company to get collagen protein. You can check them out at organica.com, so ORGANIKA.com. And they have a bunch of other products on there as well, and also a retail locator, so you can see if there's any locations near you or retailers that have their product and that are selling it, or you can order it online. So diving through the research, there's not really any specific one way to take collagen protein of like what time of day, should you take it with food, without food, all this kind of stuff. I haven't come across anything solid, so I'd say try it out, test it out, see what works best for you. What I personally do is in the morning times, part of my morning routine is I make bullet coffee. So it's just coffee, 2 tablespoons of unsalted grass-fed goat butter, 2 tablespoons of MCT oil. I blend that up, and then I add in a tablespoon of collagen protein, blend it up again nice and slow, and then I drink that first thing in the morning. Why I make that type of coffee is a story for another day. Feel free to ask me about that. But yeah, so that's basically a little breakdown of collagen protein, what it's good for, and kind of my recommendation of what I like. I like Organica Collagen Protein. I recommend it. It's awesome. It's good bang for your buck. It's not going to be super expensive, but it's also a good quality. So it's a nice middle ground. Hopefully you found this helpful. If there's other things you want me to talk about, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll kind of continue to do sort of quick breakdowns and a product review of things that I've come across that I like the best. I like to try out new supplements, things that I come across to see, what's good, what's I find beneficial, and what kind of seems like a waste of money. So hopefully this has been helpful, and I recommend try it out. Worst comes to worst, you just stop taking it after your first bag of it. So worth a try. See if you like it. I would recommend doing it for, going back on what I just said, I would do it for at least 12 to 20 weeks, just to really help it kind of get into your system, and you'll start to really notice the benefits at that time. Doing it for just a very short period of time, you will notice benefits, but like anything, I would give it a chance and give it some time to, show its improvements. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. You can find me on Facebook. I'll put all of my social media below. Shoot me questions, whatever it might be, anytime. And enjoy the upcoming weekend. Bye.
Oh, for sure.